Hey everybody, Marty Sleva here alongside Daniel Krupa. Hey. We're here from the motherland, Cologne, Germany. I think it's the motherland, right? Fatherland.
I think it's the fatherland, but you don't
fatherland.
say
that. We're not too worried about that. We're here at Gamescom. We've been seeing a ton of games. We're hoarse, we're screaming, but we're going to get right into it. You saw Tearaway Unfolded.
Yeah, so I went to a presentation and I had an interview with Rex from Media Molecule. Yep. And Tearaway is a game that I love. I reviewed it for IGN a few months ago when it came out on Vita.
Yeah.
And it's a weird proposition, Tearaway Unfolded, because it's not just an up-res version of Tearaway. Sure. It's a remake, an adaptation.
Yeah.
It's really embracing the PS4. But when I saw it, I didn't go hands-on, but I saw it being played. And instantly, it just feels like it is a pun unfolded, but that's what it feels like they've done. Like, it's like the margins of the game have been pulled back, and suddenly you're in a much bigger world.
Yeah.
Like, spaces feel bigger. And in that extra space, they've put like new surprises, new characters. So it also feels busier and more alive as a world.
That's really interesting because, yeah, it was one of those things, it seemed like a port wouldn't make sense just because, like, Tearaway was so intrinsically developed for the Vita.
Oh, no, that's why I love Tearaway on Vita, because it embraces all the weird, eccentric idiosyncrasies of the Vita.
Yeah.
In fact, it's got like too many cameras than it really needs. Everything is touch control. It's got gyroscope. All this like crazy stuff they didn't need to put into the console. Embraces it. So what they do on PS4 is a lot of that stuff isn't around anymore.
Yeah.
But the DualShock 4 is a pretty weird controller in its own right.
Yeah.
So it's got the light bar, so you can shine that into the world.
Okay.
They're kind of cheating that, because that doesn't need the camera. That's all done by gyroscope. And the touchpad creates gusts of wind, so you can fly along on a paper airplane. What else can you do? You can.
I saw during the conference you could sort of bounce using
so the fingers into the world is not a thing, but they kind of negate that by having the bounce mechanic.
Yeah.
So they're kind of more the specific puzzles related to the hardware. They're kind of really heavily adapting.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff is kind of the same.
Yeah.
But they're kind of just elaborating in certain areas.
Yeah. I mean, that's really exciting because, I mean, Vita, we both played the game and loved the game last year, but it was one of those things not enough people played. I mean, it's a combination of there's not enough Vitas in the wild, and maybe the people that do have it didn't play it.
At the beginning of Sony's conference, they told us 10 million PlayStation 4s have been sold through to consumers. Yeah. Suddenly, Tearaway has the biggest audience possible.
Sure,
really.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you know, we always used to talk about, back in the day, consoles having mascots.
Yeah.
And, like, Mario and Sonic and stuff. And I almost feel like they might have found their mascot, and it's one they already owned. And the game looks super gorgeous.
Yeah,
it was 1080p.
Yeah.
They're aiming for 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
And they've almost removed all traces of digital artifacts.
Yeah.
So it looks like paper. And there's loads of little tiny details, like the paper depresses underfoot, and it just looks gorgeous.
Oh, I love how it levels like the slight swaying of a wind and it'll fold over.
Or like a waterfall unfurling. It's gorgeous. And that just looks even better on PlayStation 4.
Was this, I mean, this is a 2015 thing, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, they weren't being drawn on a specific day. So I think they're still adding more content.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're redoing the narrations.
Yeah.
They're adding twists. So again, it is a heavy adaptation. And they said about 50% of it is new.
That's crazy.
They wouldn't be really, they didn't want to commit to a quantification of it.
Yeah.
But it's like 50%, so it's a lot more stuff in there.
Yeah, it's more than just, it's definitely more than just like an up-res port.
Yeah.
It's almost like a remake.
The spirit of the original, a PS4 experience.
Yeah, that is awesome. We're both big fans of Tearaway. You got to check out Tearaway Unfolded. For everything else Sony, Creative Games, and Gamescom, keep it right here on IGN.